just a quick just to quickly show you what my highlighter drawer looks like. In all fairness, the highlighters are from this side to this side, but I do have a lot of other things in this drawer and I want to clean and declutter some. So this is what this drawer looks like right now, and we are going to get going and declutter some of these highlighters, and hopefully this drawer will look a lot better. Okay, so first up, let's start with highlighters. Actually, this is the face palette, so I'm gonna save this one for a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna get going with highlighters. So first up, I have this MAC and Selena highlighter. This is brand new to my collection. I just got this not that long ago. When I hauled the eyeshadow palette, I had mentioned that I couldn't get, like, I hadn't been able to get my hands on this highlight, and Ulta brought it back in stock and I snatched it because this was one of the things that I was most excited about this new MAC and Selena collection. So I was so excited to have found it, and of course I am keeping it. It's so pretty. I love all of these Selena collections that MAC have done. They're just so pretty. Okay, so that is the first thing I'm keeping. Next, I have these two Too Faced Candlelight and Glow highlighters. I found these actually at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And a funny story about this, when I first started getting into makeup and when I first heard and saw what Too Faced was, I fell in love with everything they had. And these highlights were the one thing that I wanted the most from those from that brand. So when I found it at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, you can imagine how excited I was. So I picked up this one, and this is in Warm Glow, and it's just such a pretty highlight. I love these so much. So of course I am gonna keep both of them. And this one is in Rosy Glow, so one is more gold and one is more pink. So of course I'm gonna keep both of them. I just love them so much. So excited to have these in my collection. Okay, next we have this bronzer right here that I found at TJ Maxx or Marshalls a long time ago. I used this bronzer in one of my full face of TJ Maxx makeup videos a long time ago, like a few years ago. This actually surprised me of how beautiful it is. It's just so pretty, and the embossment, I love animal print, so of course it's just so pretty. Such a pretty highlight. I'm actually going to keep this one just because I do like it a lot. It's like, I mean, look at that shine. It's so pretty. I also have this Wet n Wild, I think it's a highlight. Yeah, it's like a shimmer palette, and it's in Bossy Bunch. And I found this one, I can't remember where. I think it was a CVS or something. And I was so excited. I found it a long time ago, but I love the print, so I'm gonna keep it. Next, we have this Ofra and Nikki Tutorials highlighter palette. I bought the full collection of Nikki Tutorials and Ofra. This is actually one of the only things of Ofra that I own. I don't really own a lot by Ofra, but wow, that glow. I am, of course, going to keep this. I do enjoy this palette quite a lot. It's definitely a very beautiful palette, so I am going to keep it. Up next, I do have two of these Maybelline Master Chrome highlights. I have this one in Molten Gold, and this one in... this one doesn't have a name. It just says metallic highlighter. I'm not really sure what I think of this one. Actually, I can't tell you what I think of this one because it's brand new. It's still unopened. So this one is number 250, and it's a really pretty highlight. They are very, very soft and very, very glowy. I mean, look at that. That is so pretty. I am going to keep this one. Very pretty. Again, it's super soft. That's what this one looks like. This one looks like it might be a little too dark for my skin, so I think that I'm going to declutter this one. Next, I have this highlight right here. This is another highlight that I also found at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. It doesn't have a specific name, but it's supposed to be like mermaid themed. And it's also another very pretty highlight. If you guys find highlights at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and they don't really necessarily have to be like name brand, they're actually pretty good highlights, and they're normally like $2 or $3, so they're actually pretty good. But I am trying to declutter, so I am going to pass this one along. I also have this highlight right here. This one I bought at Forever 21. I think it's their own brand of makeup, so this one is also very pretty, but because they're so close in tone, I am going to declutter this one. Okay, I have a lot of Wet n Wild highlighters. They are one of my favorite formula of highlighters. I think that they're just beautiful. I have this highlight right here. This one is limited edition. It's Winter Falls in LA. This highlight was part of a collection. I think it was like an iced theme collection. I can't remember. I actually got this highlight in a mystery box that I bought from Wet n Wild. I never did an unboxing on my channel because Wet n Wild sent me an email showing me everything that was in the box, and I was so disappointed by it that I just didn't really do a video on it. I imagine that this is like very icy. I want to swatch it to see how it is. I think that I might keep it, even though it's limited edition, just because I do like to create looks and stuff for Halloween, and I think that highlighters like these will be perfect for that. So this is what the highlight looks like. It's like an icy blue type of highlight, so I am going to keep it, again, because I do like to create looks for Halloween, and I think that would be perfect. Same thing with this one. This is White Raven, and this one was part of their collection that they had that was like skulls. It was like skull themed, and everything was so like pink and white, and it was just so pretty. But I do have this highlight. I've never opened it. Again, like, I love these types of highlights for like the Halloween time, but they're not things that I could use on an everyday basis, and that's the reason why most of them are brand new. Even though some of this stuff is limited edition, you can still find a lot of it in the Wet n Wild website. So this is like a purple white. Yeah, it's very pretty actually. It's like a white, but it has like purple in there. So I am going to keep this again because of Halloween. Then I have a bunch more Wet n Wild highlights. I have this one, which this is Botanic Dream. I think that this one was very popular for a while on YouTube. I love it, so I am going to keep it. Highlights are going to be really hard, just like blushes. They're some of my favorites, so okay, so up next we have this one, and this is Crown of My Canopy, and this one seems to be a little bit more darker. So yeah, this one is like really dark. I can't remember how I came about obtaining this one, but it's like super dark, so I am going to pass on it. And then this one right here is called Blossom Aglow, and this one is also very pretty. So actually, this one, Blossom Glow, and the Botanical Dream are very similar. I would say that this one is a little lighter than Botanical Dream. So I think I'm going to keep Botanical Dream and pass this one along. Next, I have these two Wet n Wild highlighters. These came out a while ago. I think it was maybe for like a Valentine's Day. I can't really remember. I love having colors that are fun like this, to create different looks, or for like Halloween and stuff. So these are some that I am going to keep, and this one is actually very wearable. It's very pinky, so it's a very wearable highlight, so I am going to keep it because I love it. And this one is like a purple. This one is also very, very pretty, and again, I am going to keep it as well. Then I have these three Wet n Wild highlights. And this one I bought when Wet n Wild brought these back the second time, because I couldn't find them ever the first time that Wet n Wild released these. I couldn't find them anywhere, and then finally they decided to bring them back, so I did purchase them when I saw them, and they are so pretty, just like the others. They're so pretty, so I am going to keep it. And then I have these from like the Zodiac collection that they brought out, and these are still available in their website and also at Walmart, so you can still get your hands on this. And this one is Air, so it's like a mixture of like a pink and a gold. It's just so pretty, so I am going to keep both of these. And this one is Earth. And this one's more gold, but it's more wearable, so I am going to keep those. And then I have these three right here. This is from the Dollar Tree. This is actually a beautiful highlight. If you guys find these at the Dollar Tree, pick them up because they are hidden gems. These highlighters are so good. They're so good. They're actually very similar to the Wet n Wild highlighters. So they have this one, and this one is in Glow Time, which is like a champagne type of shade. And then they also have these, which is also from LA Colors. This one doesn't have like a specific name, but it's very similar to the others, just that it comes in a different type of packaging. And this one is a little bit more gold, but it's just as beautiful. So if you guys find these at the Dollar Tree, definitely pick them up because they are beautiful. So I am going to keep both of those. And then I have this little Laura Geller Live Glows On Illuminating Palette. And this one comes with 3 of her gelato swirls. It comes with Opal Crush, French Fizz, and Diamond Dust. And I got these at either TJ Maxx or Marshall's, I can't remember. But everybody raves about Laura Geller, and so I needed to pick these up to see what the fuss was about, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. So these are very, very pretty highlights. I love them, so I am going to keep those. Okay, so this is the next batch of highlighters. First up, we have the Airspun Loose Face Highlighter, and this is in... I don't think it has a name. I think they do have different shades, but okay, this one's called Snow Much Ice, and it's really pretty. I liked it a lot. I used it in a video. I think it was my makeup that I've never used from my collection video, and it is very pretty. I like it a lot. I don't know if I can get, yeah, there you go. So that's what it looks like. It's very blinding as well. My hand's super shiny from all the highlight, but I hope you can see it right there. It's very shiny, very pretty. I'm gonna put this one on the side for right now, just because I have a lot of loose highlights that I want to look at first before I make my decision. So I'm gonna put this one on the side. Next, I have this Too Faced highlighter, and this is the Rainbow Strobe. Again, it's from their like unicorn theme collection, and I love that collection, so obviously I'm going to be keeping this one. Next, I have a loose highlighter. This is the Wet n Wild You Glow Girl highlighter. I actually got this one as a free gift when I placed an order with Wet n Wild. That's why sometimes I love to purchase online from, you know, the actual brand, because oftentimes they send you gifts with purchase, and so I really like that. This is what this highlight looks like. It's very pretty. It's also very similar to the Airspun. It might be, actually they're exactly the same color, so I need to decide if I want to keep the Wet n Wild or if I want to keep the Airspun. Oh, I think I'm gonna keep the Airspun for now, put the Wet n Wild to the side. Let's continue. I have this Flower Beauty palette, and this is beautiful. I actually I saw Casey Holmes use this a long time ago in one of her videos, and I was so surprised by this little palette, and I wanted it, but it was like $13, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should spend the $13 on it. But I actually found this little palette, I think it was for like less than $5 at Walmart. They had it on sale because Walmart actually is not selling Flower Beauty anymore, so they had all of their stuff for sale, and I found this for less than $5, so I was actually very glad that I didn't buy it for the full price. But I love this palette. This is a good palette, so I'm definitely keeping that. I also have this Too Faced You're So Jelly highlighter, and this is in Gilded Champagne. I haven't used this much, but I did use it once and I liked it a lot, so I am going to keep it. It's like a cream highlight, and I love to use things like this when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup but I do want to look glowy, so I am for sure going to keep this one. I also have this Becca and Chrissy Teigen loose highlight, and this is in Cinnamon Sugar. I think this highlight is a little too dark for me. So is that one right there. It's right here. It might be a little too dark for my skin, but I can always use it for my body. So I'm going to keep it for now. Maybe I will declutter in the future, but for now I am going to keep it. Plus, I love the packaging. It's so high-end. Love it. Moving on, I have two ColourPop highlighters. I have this one in Guilty Pleasure. And these highlighters are so cool because they feel like putty. They feel wet and cold, and they just look so pretty. At this point, I don't even know if you guys can see from like all of the shininess in my hand, but that is the highlight right there. It's very pretty. I am going to keep it. I love ColourPop, so I am going to keep that one. And I also have this one in Lunch Money, and I got this one because one of my favorite YouTubers, this is one of her favorite highlights, and I wanted to pick it up for a video that I'm planning, and so that's what it looks like. So I am definitely going to keep this one for that video and because I love it. I have this Anastasia Beverly Hills and Amoressi highlight. I really like this highlight. I bought it the second time around when they decided to relaunch it, and I like it a lot, so I am definitely gonna keep this one. So pretty, and I love the packaging. I also have this Pure and Barbie highlight, and this is in a Dream Glow, and I love the packaging, but the actual highlight is beautiful as well. You can mix them all together to create one shade, or you can use them all separate. This one's a little dark, but for eyeshadow or something, I love this palette, so I am definitely gonna keep it. This is really hard. Okay, next we have this Urban Decay Space Powder. That's what it's called, Space Powder. This is what it looks like. It's very shimmery. There seems to be a lot of glitter in there. It is kind of rough, but it's so pretty. I mean, look at that. For your body, that would be amazing. And I got the small. They do have a larger one, but I got the small one, and I got it off of their website when it was on sale, and I think I paid like $6 for it. Okay, I have this Pretty Vulgar highlight, and this one is in Shimmering Swan. I love the packaging of Pretty Vulgar, and the highlight looks to be a little dark. It's actually pretty good on my skin. It seems dark in the pan, but it's actually not that dark, so it works out for me, so I am gonna keep it. I also have this Stila highlight. This is the Heaven's Hue highlighter. A lot of people on YouTube rave about this highlight, and I found it at TJ Maxx or Marshalls at one point, and I decided to pick it up. I haven't used it a lot. I've used it my god, I've used it a couple of times. That is what it looks like. It's also like the ColourPop ones that has that like putty type of consistency, and as you just saw, it flew off of the pan. But it's a very pretty highlight, so I am gonna keep it. I have this Becca highlight that I also picked up from either TJ Maxx or Marshalls. This is in Spanish Rose, and it's so beautiful. I recently hauled it in one of my TJ Maxx and Marshalls hauls. It's just so pretty. I love the embossment on it, and the shade of the highlight is just so beautiful. I do like, if I'm wearing like a lot of pink on my eyes or something, I do like my highlight to be like a pink or a purple, so this would be perfect for that, so I'm definitely gonna keep that. I also have this RCLO Beauty highlight. I did a video about this with my daughter, in which we tried her lip glosses and her highlight, and it is a beautiful highlight, and my daughter wanted me to keep it, so I'm gonna keep that. I also have this ColourPop highlight, and this one doesn't have a name, it just says highlighter. And I bought this for a ColourPop video that I made where I had a full face of ColourPop. It's a very pretty highlight, but it's not something that excites me to use, so I am going to pass it along. I also have this Wet n Wild Mega Jelly highlighter in, I don't think it has a name. Oh, in Blaze and Gaze. And it's very similar to the ColourPop, to the Too Faced Jelly highlight, but I think that this one is a lot more intense than the Too Faced, but that's what that looks like. So I am going to keep this because I do like it, plus it can be a good dupe for that Too Faced one. And then I have another loose highlight by Wet n Wild. This is the one that they came out with all the zodiac signs, and this one is Written in the Stars. I think I used this highlight once, and I haven't used it since. It's a very pretty highlight. I do love anything that's like zodiac related, so I am going to keep this powder. And then I have two from Kylie Cosmetics. The first one is Cheers a Darlin', and this is what it looks like. Again, not a fan of the family, but I have to say that I love her face makeup. It's just so beautiful. Her bronzer, her blush, her highlight. I fell in love with all of them, so I am going to keep both of these. That's what they look like. They look very similar on camera, but this one is more gold and this one is more pink. And this is Queen Drip. Okay, so next up we have this e.l.f. and Novella Noir loose highlight. I still haven't used this. I bought it a while ago and I just haven't gotten around to using it, but I've heard nothing but good things about this, so I am going to keep it just to try it. And because I have a couple more loose highlights, I am going to pass on the Airspun, so I am going to keep this one and pass this one along. Okay, next I have this Too Faced cream highlight that I also bought at TJ Maxx or Marshalls a while ago. I still haven't used it on my face. I've swatched it a couple of times. It feels a little dry, to be quite honest with you. I don't know how I feel about it. I am going to keep it to play with it on my face and see what I actually think about it. But it might be in the next, you know, declutter video in the future. I have this Becca highlight here. This is the Gold Lava highlight by Becca. This is it's a very gold highlight. I actually found this one at TJ Maxx and Marshalls too. I find a lot of my stuff at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, guys. But it's very golden and I do like it a lot. I love the packaging, so I am gonna keep it. Next we have this Caí Para Mí highlight. Again, this was a brand that was sold at Target. Unfortunately, they don't sell it anymore, so I think that I am going to declutter it, but it is a very pretty highlight. But just because you can't find it at Target anymore, so I am going to pass on it. Next, I have this e.l.f. and it was a collab, but it says Heart Defensor. I don't know what that means, but it was a collab with somebody. It is a very pretty highlight. It has two highlights in here and they're both very, very pretty. You can use them separate or together, and I like the packaging, so I am going to keep it. Next, I have this Lorac. This is Daylight. I bought this highlight a long time ago. I paid full price for it. I bought it because Tati, it used to be her favorite highlight. It was the highlight that she was always talking about, so of course I have to run and get it. And it's a very pretty highlight, but I think that it's time for me to pass on it. Then I have this Revolution Beauty Vivid Baked Highlight, and this is in Radiant Lights. I do love Revolution Beauty, but I haven't used this highlight in a really long time, so I think I am going to pass on it. Okay, next I have this Maybelline Master Fairy Lights or Fairy Highlights illuminating powder. I got this at TJ Maxx for $2.99. Again, I bought it because for those times when I do like crazy looks or for Halloween or something, if you put all the colors together, it gives you like this bluish type of highlight. It's right there. But because I already have the Too Faced one, I think I am going to get rid of this one. Then I have this Essence Wanted Sunset Dreamers Marble Highlight. I love Essence, but the problem with Essence is that they're always coming out with stuff, with collections and everything, but it's so fast. Like, they come out with a collection and then it's gone, and then they come out with another collection and then it's gone. So I have bought these for a video that I wanted to make on Essence, but I didn't get the chance to make it because they sold everything of, I don't know if they sold everything in the collection, but the collection was gone from their website super quickly, and I wasn't able to film that video. But this is a very pretty highlight, but I am going to pass on it. I have this Milani highlight. This is in Strobe Light. This is another highlight that was very popular on YouTube. Everybody was always talking about it. It is a very pretty highlight. It's very pretty. I might keep it because I need it for a video, but after that, I think I am going to pass it along. Next, I have this Maybelline and Puma collection highlight. This is a beautiful highlight. This is one of my favorite highlights. Unfortunately, they don't sell them anymore, but this is one of my favorite highlights, and I am gonna keep it because I love to use this on like my everyday life when I don't have to come out on camera. But I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. And up next, we have this Makeup Obsession Mega Honey Highlighter. You can find this brand at Target. It's also a brand owned by Makeup Revolution. But this highlight, it's so beautiful. It's a little bit different than the Puma one. It's a little lighter in color, but it's also very pretty. It's also one of my favorite everyday highlights, so I am going to keep it. Then we have this Fenty Beauty highlight. This is in How Many Carats. This is not really a highlight that I will wear as a highlight by itself. This is something that I will use to top my highlight already. It's a bunch of glitters, so I only use this highlight when I'm gonna go out or go to a party or something. It's beautiful for that, but not for my everyday makeup. But I am going to keep it. Then I have this little highlight from the Dollar Tree. I used this highlight on my last Dollar Tree makeup review video, and it actually impressed me a lot. It's very pretty, very pigmented. So I am going to keep it. It's perfect for like travel because it's so tiny, or to keep it in my purse, so I am going to keep that. Then we have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in Crystal High. This is another collection that Wet n Wild came out with, and nothing from that collection really called my name, but the highlights seem very pretty, so I did pick up the highlight. Wow, I haven't used it yet, but that looks very pretty, so I am definitely going to keep this. Then we have this Tetris collection that Ipsy was selling, and the highlight is super golden. It kind of reminds me of the Fenty Trophy Wife, I think it's called, that everybody raves about. It kind of reminds me of that, but it's a little too gold for me, so I think I'm just going to pass it along. And lastly, I have this ColourPop and Becky G loose highlighter, and this one is in Chisme. I had both of the powder highlights from this collection, but I don't need to, so I gave one to my sister already. But I did decide to keep this one. And this one is a little golden, but it's not as gold as the Tetris one, so I am going to keep it. Especially because I love Becky G. So